What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another prediction video. This week, I'm going to be breaking down UFC Kansas City, Holloway versus Allen. 14 fight cards, got some pretty good fights on it. The main event is going to be awesome. We're going to learn a lot of things about both these guys. I got some nice betting spots. I already beat some good line movement. And just can't wait to see this card, man. I really wanted to go see it live, but I'm going to Vegas the following week, so I really couldn't just take another weekend off. But yeah, man, everybody, before we get into all this, man, hit that like and subscribe button, leave a comment, help the algorithm out. Everybody, the Discord, Layer Cake Discord is free. The link will be in the description of this video. So go join that. We have fun during the fights. We have fun during the week, talking, sharing different bets and all kinds of stuff. Patreon is up and running. I've been killing line movement on there. I had Gaston at plus 135 last weekend and last night, and he ended at what, plus or minus 145. I have somebody this week that I bet at plus 145 who's now a favorite. Been doing that, been killing the line movement. And yeah, man, the link will be in the description. I do all kinds of stuff. Drop my DraftKings lineup. I drop my 10 top bets. 8 fight progressive parlay, all kinds of stuff, and it's getting better and better. I'm adding to it every single month, trying to figure out different things that I can add to it and make it better. Winner of the competition for the shirt was Sem Fahoko. He had the great parlay. He had Gaslam, Font, and Holland in the parlay, man. 2 underdogs and 1 favorite. Well, Gaslam ended the favorite, but excellent job with those 3. Send me your address and stuff on Instagram or Twitter, Sam, and I'll be happy to ship them out ASAP. We're going to do a quick recap of UFC 287, and then we'll get right into UFC Kansas City. And UFC 287, man, had a lot of good picks, just didn't bet all that well, got a little greedy. So I went 3-3 for minus $45. Man, I should have won a lot of them. I was so close to winning a lot of money and going undefeated on my picks. But 3 winning bets. I had Kelvin Gastelum. I tried to tell everybody about him. That was a really close fight. It was a really good fight, but plus 2.7 units. Second winning bet was Steve Garcia. If you guys know on the live show, me and Johnny went at it about this, and I tried to tell everybody, man, Shylin is not that good. He had 1 round of cardio, and Steve Garcia pulled it off for me as a big underdog, plus 180. So I won 3.15 units. That was a sharp bet with Gastelum. Third winning bet was Burns Holland. I won 2 units on that, and they both look good, man. Holland got the late finish in the third. He was taking some leg kicks, but looked good, and Burns looked good the whole fight. 3 losing bets, and here's where I messed up. Amorim under 2.5, minus 2.5 units. Amorim and Holland, minus 2.8 units. And then Amorim mixed with Bill Algeo from this week at minus 3 units. And, man, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody that was so deep into a rear naked choke and not get finished, man. I literally stood up, cashed the bets in my head, and then she got her in like 3 more of them. But I think Sam Hughes was digging deep down into her gloves to pull that off, because that was crazy. That was the deepest rear naked choke I've seen somebody get out of, I think. So, yeah, man, was so close. If she would have got that first round finish with that rear naked choke, I would have went 5-0 and halfway on another bet next week and won about $1,500. But instead, I lost minus 0.45 units. My overall bet record is 210 and 148 for plus 81.5 units. And my 2023 record is 31 and 23 for plus 4.2 units. So still positive, man, but I just got to be better. I couldn't get greedy. I put a Amorim on too much stuff, and that will not happen no more. I will not be getting that greedy. So yeah, man, it was a good It was a good card. It was fun to watch. 1 second. It was fun to watch, but I just I should have made better bets. I should have made better bets than that. So, all right, we're going to get into this UFC 282 or UFC Kansas City. I'm sorry, I was trying to get this stuff up here, and I got to it now. UFC Kansas City, man. Let's get into these fights. There's some fights that aren't that great. There's some decent ones. Here's one that is not that great. We got Ed Short Fuse Herman versus Zak Cummings fighting at light heavyweight. Ed Herman, 24 and 15, currently sitting at plus 200. He's 42 and a half years old, 6'1" with a 75-inch reach. Then we got Zak Cummings, who's 24-7, currently minus 250, 38 years old, 6 foot with a 75-inch reach. And yeah, man, if you look, Ed Herman, 42 and a half, hasn't really been all that active lately. He hasn't fought in almost 2 years. Last time he fought was a Menafield decision loss, where he got beat up pretty good. He got his legs beat up, got his head beat up, got beat up pretty good. But the Mike Rodriguez fight was a while ago too, where he was getting beat, and I think he actually got beat with the body shots, and then the ref didn't see it, thought that it was a ball shot, and ended up letting him survive, and then he won. But yeah, man, Ed Herman has not been looking good for a long time. He's got decent boxing, he's got a decent left hook, he's got good forward pressure, good offensive and defensive wrestling, takedown defense. He's got good cardio and toughness, but he's old now. He's 42. He's very slow, and he hasn't fought in almost 2 years, man. There's really not too much good things about him. Only thing is, he's fighting Zak Cummings, who is also old and has not fought for a while. He hasn't fought since 2020, about pretty much the exact same time. And he had a win over Alessio Di Chirico, which was a decent win. And before that, lost to Amari Akhmadov. But I actually bet on Trevin Giles here in this fight, and it was a really close fight. And then he ended up getting the club and sub with 1 minute left in the third round. But he's got low output boxing. He's got good offensive and defensive wrestling. He's got good inside and outside leg kicks, good counter left hook, and he's super durable. Both these guys are super durable. I'm going to take Zak Cummings because I think he's going to be able to use that inside and outside leg kick that he has. That's pretty good. And I think that he's going to be able to use that just like Alonzo Menafield did and get him a win. I like this fight to go to decision. I think it's a minus 170, and I would really be looking at that because I don't think neither one of these guys finished. Give me Zak Cummings by decision. And not a very interesting fight. Next fight is at 135. We got Gaston Bolanos versus Aaron Phillips. Gaston Bolanos is 6-3. He's currently sitting at minus 180. He's 5'7" with a 70.5-inch reach. Aaron Phillips is 12-4, currently sitting at plus 155. 33 years old, 5'9" with a 69-inch reach. So Phillips would be 2 inches taller, but Bolanos will actually have 1.5 inches of reach. Gaston Bolanos, man, this kid has really good Muay Thai striking, man. He's got crazy spinning elbows. If you go watch his fights, man, he's got crazy spinning elbows. He's got excellent power in both hands. You see the right hook, the ground strikes in his last fight against the guy that was 7-5 that already had a win over him. Split decision loss to Solo Hatley Jr., which that guy, I mean, come on, man, this guy's 10-7 now. This guy's lost to these two guys recently, in the last couple of years, and he hasn't been active at all. He's got one fight you see here in the last 3 years, almost 3.5 years. Excellent Muay Thai, though. I know he's had to been working on his wrestling and grappling because that's where he's lacking at. But he's got crazy spinning elbows, excellent stance switching, powerful striking from both stances, powerful leg and body kicks as you would expect from a Muay Thai fighter. I mean, this guy's had a lot of Muay Thai fights. Powerful leg and body kicks, excellent Muay Thai knees in the clinch. He's just lacking in the ground game. His ground game suspect, although it could have gotten better in the last couple of years. He's only 30 years old, so he could have improved. Cardio is suspect with the grappling. Like when you grapple a lot and you're a striker, man, that affects your cardio. And he's lost 2 of his last 3 fights to low-level guys. You know what I mean? It's tough to trust a guy like that. But he's fighting another low-level guy in Aaron Phillips. Aaron Phillips, he's got nice southpaw striking. He wrestled in high school. He's got decent jiu-jitsu. He's got decent offensive and defensive wrestling. He's got decent southpaw striking with a really nice body kick. Finished 4 of his last 5 opponents, 3 KOs, 1 sub. He's going to have the better grappling in this fight, and that's what's keeping me away from wanting to bet Gaston, because Gaston definitely is going to have the better striking. But Phillips' striking isn't terrible. But also one more thing I wanted to point out is that Phillips hasn't fought in a long time either, man. He hasn't fought in almost 3 years. So, well, I don't, this is a weird fight. It's just definitely a weird fight. But I'm going to take Aaron Phillips by decision, actually. I'm going to say that he can actually use some wrestling in this fight. And he has decent enough striking to survive, I think. But I think he can use some grappling and wrestling. But I wouldn't advise anybody to bet this fight either way, man, because Gaston Bolanos could hit him with some spinning elbow, or he could just get taken down and beaten up. It's a really weird fight. Neither one of these dudes fought in almost 3 years, and they're both low level, in my opinion, as far as MMA is concerned. So give me Aaron Phillips by decision, and I want no part of that fight. Next fight, Joselyne Edwards versus Lucie Pudilova. Edwards is 12-4, currently sitting at plus 120. She's 27 years old. 5'8" with a 70-inch reach. Lucie Pudilova is 14-7. She's currently sitting at -140, 28 years old, 5'8" with a 67.5-inch reach. And Jacqueline Edwards, man, I like her. She's got good kickboxing from range. She uses her length. She uses her reach really, really well. She throws a ton of front kicks, ton of push kicks, uses that as almost a jab. She uses that as almost a jab. Sorry. She has nice pop in her hands. She has good power in her hooks. She throws tons of volume. She's pretty fast, you know. Really nice combos with kicks and punches. She's got suspect takedown defense, but it's been looking better in her last couple of fights. It looked good against Ji Young Kim, who didn't try a ton of takedowns. It looked good against Ramona Pascal, who doesn't have great wrestling, but did try some takedowns. She was taken down against Jessica Rose Clark and Carol Rosa, but man, I don't know, man. I don't know if Lucie is wrestling is up on that level. I know she looked good in her last fight against Yanan Wu Mulan, but I'm not that impressed with her wrestling, to be honest. I wasn't even impressed with it in that fight. She just kind of doesn't have good takedown defense. She's got decent kickboxing, Lucie Pudilova. She's got decent takedowns when timed right. But against the fence, like just her grabbing a girl and taking her down, she's not very good at that. She's got excellent top control and transitions, though. She's got really good BJJ. When she's on top, she's really good. She controls girls. She moves. She transitions. She's looking for submissions. She's got really good ground and pound, really good elbows. You've seen against Yanan Wu. And her grappling super improved from when she was in the UFC before, where she took them 4 losses in a row. And then she came back on the regional scene. You know, she fought lower level girls, but was able to get the wins. And then she looked really good in their last fight. And I think that's what's pushing this line to where it's at, because I really like Joselyne Edwards in this fight, man. Edwards, to me, is going to have the better striking, way more output. And she's going to have the grappling and takedown defense, in my opinion, to keep this fight standing. So I really like Edwards as a dog, and I plan on betting her probably. So, yeah, I actually like her a lot in this spot. Next fight is in the men's 155-pound division. We got Lando Vannata making his return up to 155 after his going down to 145 versus Daniel Zullhuber. This is going to be a really good fight. We got Lando Vannata, who's 12-6-2, currently sitting at -105. He's 31 years old, 5'9" with a 71-inch reach, which I would think Lando's way older than 31. That's crazy. Zullhuber, 12-1. He's 23 years old, so he's going to have, you know, about 8 years younger. 6'1" with a 77-inch reach, so he's going to be 4 inches taller with a 6-inch reach advantage. Lando Vannata, you know, this dude, he's got good offensive and defensive wrestling. He's got pretty good jiu-jitsu. He's got good boxing. You've seen this fight with like Bobby Green, Yancy Medeiros, Mike Grundy. He's got really good boxing. He's got, like I said, good offensive and defensive wrestling. He's got some good spinning stuff, good spinning elbows, spinning back kicks. You remember John McDessie, I believe, was the one he kicked his head off with that spinning kick back in the day. But you see here, man, he wins one, lose one, win one, lose one. He's been doing that for a long time. But I think it's about time for him to lose 2 in a row, possibly in this one, because I just don't think that he's gonna really offer much to Daniel Zullhuber, because I don't think he's gonna out-wrestle Zullhuber. Zullhuber's, well, I mean, he could, but he's so small, and I don't think that he's as good as Trey Ogden, and he really doesn't use his wrestling. Zullhuber, super tall, showed decent wrestling on the Contender Series against Lucas Almeida. He's shown good wrestling and ground and pound in all of his other fights outside of his UFC fight. And against Trey Ogden, man, I think that he just froze up, dude. He did not fight like he usually does. Of course, Trey Ogden fought a counter-striking style that kind of threw him off, and I don't think that's going to happen here. I think that Lando Vannata, he's a very action-packed fighter, and he's going to bring the fight to Zullhuber, and I think that's where Zullhuber is going to shine. I think Lucas Almeida would beat up Lando Vannata, to be honest, at this point in their career, and Zullhuber was able to take his giant punches in that first round and first half of the round and a half, and then put a beating on him, man. As Zullhuber has excellent long kickboxing. His kicking game is his best asset, man. He's inside, outside leg kicks, throwing front kicks, teep kicks, everything. He's got a good clinch with powerful knees in the clinch. He's got a nice long jab, and then when he hits you with the 1-2, man, he got pop on it. That's what he was doing to Lucas Almeida. Crazy cardio and toughness, like I said, you've seen on the Contender Series. And he's just a big, long dude for this division. He's a tough Mexican dude, and I think that when he comes out and fights to the best of his ability, that he's going to be a problem in this division. He's only 33. Hopefully he got the nerves out of the way and everything, but I'm going to take him. I'm going to take Zullhuber. I'm going to say that He's got the wrestling to keep this fight standing. And I'm going to say that he can hit Vannata with some big shots in this fight and drop Vannata, and end up getting the win in this fight. So give me Daniel Zullhuber, and I would take him by decision. Vannata's so tough, man, but I just like Zullhuber to have the bigger moments in this fight. Next fight is in the women's 115-pound division. We got Peira Rodriguez versus Gillian Robertson making her return to the strawweight division. Peira Rodriguez 9-0, currently sitting at -110. She's 30 years old, 5'3" with a 63-inch reach. Gillian Robertson 11-7. She's 27 years old, 3 years younger than Peira. 5'5" with a 63-inch reach, man. Peira Rodriguez, she's not bad. She's got decent boxing. She's got decent leg kicks. She's got decent wrestling. She's got okay takedown defense. I've seen her taken down in both the fights that she fought. Well, I don't know if Sam Hughes took her down, but I feel like in the third round, Sam Hughes may have got a takedown. But she definitely got taken down by Kay Hansen a couple times. I know she took Sam Hughes down 5 times, but wasn't able to hold her down at all. But like I said, pretty good boxing, pretty good takedowns, not the best takedown defense. She's got decent offensive and defensive BJJ. She's got nice body kicks. I like her power body kicks. She's got a pretty good clinch knees and elbows, and really good cardio and toughness she showed in both of her fights against lower level girls like Sam Hughes and Kay Hansen. She's fighting, she's undefeated, which is good. But she's fighting Gillian Robertson here, who has so much UFC experience. She's literally grown up in the UFC. I mean, she was fighting in the UFC on the Ultimate Fighter in 2017. So we're talking about 6 years ago. So she's 21 years old. And look at all these fights. I mean, she's fighting Mayra Bueno Silva, who's fighting at 135 now, and she's down here at 115. Molly McCann, Veronica Hardy, who you seen just did pretty good. Macy Barber, Talia, or no, I don't think she ended up fighting. Yeah, she did end up fighting Talia Santos. These are all big name girls. This is all experience that she's gaining all through up the divisions against bigger girls. Priscilla Cachoeira, she was able to beat Caitlin Chukagian in jiu-jitsu escape time. She choked out Rose Namajunas in jiu-jitsu in 1 minute. She rear naked choked Maria Agapova in her last fight and looked really good. Her problem has been when she's fought way bigger girls like Macy Barber and them, she couldn't land no takedowns. And that was earlier in her career too, when she didn't have really no striking, but she's improved her striking, man. She's got excellent MMA BJJ and regular BJJ. Her striking is improving every fight. She doesn't get so flustered. She doesn't quit when she hits a couple times and things aren't going her way. She's got such good BJJ. When she gets on the ground, her transitions are phenomenal. She's very heavy on top. She moves from one step to the next in her jiu-jitsu and ends up getting rear naked chokes, arm bars. Her squeeze is phenomenal. She's very strong on top, and she attacks subs at all times. She's got really good cardio, really good toughness, and phenomenal experience. I'm all over Gillian Robertson here. She's actually going to be the bigger girl for the first time in a long time with the 2 inches of height. Same reach, but still 2 inches of height. I'm taking all of her experience. I know Peira Rodriguez is pretty good everywhere, where Gillian Robertson is pretty good everywhere, except she's phenomenal in the jiu-jitsu, and I think she's going to have the way better wrestling here. So give me Gillian Robertson. I don't know if she finishes her because, Peira Rodriguez has never been finished, but I really do like her to get the win. Next fight is in the men's featherweight division. We got TJ Brown versus Bill Algeo. TJ Brown is 17-9, currently sitting at +135. He's 32 years old, almost 33. 5'9" with a 73.5-inch reach. Bill Algeo, 16-7. He's 33 years old. These dudes were born 3 weeks apart. Bill Algeo, 6 foot with a 73-inch reach. So he's going to have that 3-inch height advantage, and the reach is pretty much the same. TJ Brown, he's a good fighter, man. He's good. He's well-rounded everywhere. He's got good striking. He's got good leg kicks. He's got pretty good wrestling. He can be taken down. His defensive wrestling ain't that great. He never wrestled in high school or nothing like that. He played football in college a little bit and then transitioned into MMA. But he's got really good ground and pound. He's got pretty good jiu-jitsu. He's got 10 wins by sub. A lot of really good arm triangles. He's got pretty good reversals and sweeps. Really nice ground and pound. He usually goes really hard in that second round. It slows down bad by the end of the second. And in the third, he usually gasses out, and that's what's usually causing him to lose fights. But he has really nice knees to the body in the clinch. I like that. And like I said, good takedowns, good striking, decent power. He's not knocking nobody out, but he does throw with some pop, and he's fast, man. It's like a little tank. but he's got a lot of bad losses. Look at his record: 17-9. You know, he beat Eric Silva, Eric Silva was a fraud. He's not really all that good at all. Lost to Shailin Nordenbecky, and we just seen how good he is last night. His 2 wins, he's got the win over Charles Rosa, terrible. Kai Kamaka, he lost that fight. He won that by split decision. I bet him he lost that fight. Then he lost to Danny Chavez and Jordan Griffin, 2 more guys that are not in the UFC no more. Them guys got beat out of the UFC, and he lost to them. So he's 3-3 into the UFC, and he got beat by 2 of the dudes shouldn't even have been in the UFC, and that was within the last 3 years. I thought he lost Kai Kamaka too, so he should be 2-6. I'm not high on TJ Brown at all. He's really tough in that first round, but he's not a finisher, and he's definitely not finishing Bill Algeo. I am high on Bill Algeo. I've bet against him with Ricardo Ramos. I bet against him with Joe Anderson Brito, and I bet against him with Andre Fili. And I can tell you right now that I was sweating it the whole time against Ramos when he lost. That was so close, and he came in on short notice. And obviously against Fili, I was sweating that because that was a super close fight. And Joe Anderson Brito, he beat, which Brito is better than TJ Brown by a long shot. He beat Spike Carlisle too. Actually, I don't remember if I bet that fight or not, but I like Bill Algeo, man. He's got good long kickboxing. He throws tons of volume. This dude throws a ton of kicks, excellent punches. He's so good at switching stances, putting shots on guys. He's going to make TJ Brown do what all these guys do is try to wrestle. They're going to take him down. He can be taken down, but he's got a phenomenal get-up game. So he gets up, he makes these guys tired, and then he starts putting a beating on them. That's what he did to Herbert Burns, exhaustion from damage. That's what he did to Joe Anderson Brito, who came out, tried to grapple, could not get it. I mean, he took him down, but Bill Algeo just hops back up, wears on you, and then beats you up, man. I'm high on Bill Algeo. I like his get-up game. I like his reversals, like his BJJ. When these guys get tired, he takes them down. That's what he was doing to Joe Anderson Brito, taking him down, beating him up. That's what he did to Herbert Burns, took him down, beat him up. I expect him to be able to do that to TJ Brown. I expect that first round to be tough. But the thing is Bill Algeo does not get finished. This is one of the toughest people I've ever seen in my entire life, and durable, man. That's what he does, is take that first round. It's close, and then he takes over in the fight. I expect him to do that here. I'm not high on TJ Brown at all. I'm really high on Bill Algeo, and I bet him, and I really like him to get the decision. This dude's a junkyard dog, and TJ Brown is too. But like I said, you've seen that loss against Shailin Nordenbecky. He can be taken down, he can be controlled, he gets tired, and he doesn't take shots all that well. So give me Bill Algeo, man. I like him by decision. I don't know if he finishes TJ Brown. He is really durable. Next fight is in the women's strawweight division. This is going to be a banger. We got Bruna Brazil versus Denis Gomes. Bruna Brazil, 8-2-1. Currently sitting at -200. The line has dropped. She's 5'6" with a 66-inch reach. Denis Gomes, she is 6-2. 23 years old, 5'2" with a 63-inch reach. So you see Bruna Brazil is going to be 4 inches taller with 3 inches of reach, which is, very important in this fight where both girls are kickboxers. Bruna Brazil, man, excellent long kickboxing. Her striking is phenomenal. Head kicks are obviously phenomenal. She's got a couple of them in her career. The one on the Contender Series was phenomenal. That head kick was crazy. And that girl was a pretty decent fighter, undefeated, pretty decent wrestling. She's got really good front kicks to the body. She's got fast, powerful head kicks, excellent offensive and defensive wrestling. I mean, Marnik tried to take her down a couple times. She was able to take her down one time in the second round, right before she got head kick knocked out, and Bruna Brazil was able to sweep her and hop right back up. Like I said, fast, powerful head kicks, excellent offensive and defensive wrestling. Her BJJ looked really good with the sweeps and the get-up game. Her strikes in the clinch are phenomenal, man. She's powerful as they come. She's got professional boxing experience. She's big, powerful, and she looks great everywhere. She trains at Fight Nerds with what is his name? Slipping my mind. Kyle Barallo. So she's there with them, Damian Maya and all of them. So I really like that for her jiu-jitsu and her striking. She fighting Denis Gomes, who is super, super tough, man. You've seen this girl on the Contender Series, fought a great fight, ended up getting the win there against another tough girl. She took a beating in that first round, ended up coming back, was able to get the decision against Loma Lukbumi, man. She put up a really, really, really good fight, man. She fought really tough against her, was able to land some takedowns of her own, was able to beat up Loma on the ground a little bit. But in the end, Loma won a close fight, won 2 close rounds. But she's got good kickboxing herself. She's got kickboxing background. That's where she comes from. She's got nice, powerful leg kicks, good boxing with power, throws a ton of head kicks. She'll do spinning wheel kicks, all that stuff. She's very aggressive with her forward pressure, and she's got good offensive and defensive grappling. And she is very, very tough, man. She is a dog. This is going to be a really good fight. This is going to be a back and forth fight, but I am going to go with Bruna Brazil. I think that she's got the better, her being longer, taller. I think she can land the harder strikes on the feet. And then I think that she's got the offensive and defensive grappling to keep this fight standing or take it to the ground if she wants to. And I just like her, man. I think that she's going to hit harder. I think that Denise Gomes, her aggression is going to get the best of her. And I think she's going to come rushing in and get caught with some big shots by Bruna Brazil. I don't know if this fight finishes or not, so I'm gonna go with the over. But these girls are both tough and they can both finish. So give me Bruna Brazil, and I go with the decision. Next fight is going to be so good. We got Brandon Royval versus Matheus Nicolau at 125. Brandon Royval is 14-6, currently sitting at plus 135. 30 years old, 5'9", with a 70.5-inch reach. Matheus Nicolau, 19-2-1, currently sitting at minus 165. He's 5'6" with a 66-inch reach. So you see Royval's 3 inches taller with 4.5 inches of reach, which is a lot, man. It's definitely a lot in this fight. Brandon Royval, if you don't like this dude style, then you can't like UFC. You can't like MMA fighting, man. He's so dangerous. He's so awkward. He's got excellent Muay Thai striking, excellent pace and pressure. He throws crazy kicks, crazy knees, all this stuff from different angles, flying knees. He's got great scrambles on the ground. He can be taken down, but he's got excellent scrambles, excellent jiu-jitsu, excellent striking from his back. He's got and you see here in the UFC, he's got 3 submission wins. He arm triangle Tim Elliott, guillotine choke Kai Kara of France, and the guillotine choke Matt Schnell. The Rogerio Bontoran fight is what makes me nervous here, because he was able to be taken down and controlled by a jiu-jitsu guy. That's what Pantoja was able to do to him too. But man, that fight was really, really crazy. Brandon Royval had some moments in that fight, and it looked like Pantoja was starting to gas, and then he was able to take him down and get that submission. But Pantoja is a beast. And then against Brandon Moreno, he was controlled the whole fight till his shoulder went out of socket. But he's super dangerous. Submissions, striking. He's got KO power. You've seen him beat up Kai Kara France, which is crazy because Kai Kara France is a beast. He's got a wild style and wild, aggressive, awkward style that's super hard to deal with. And he's good everywhere, man, except that defensive wrestling. But he don't mind because he goes to the ground where he's a savage. Now we go to Matheus Nicolau, and this dude's been on a run, man. He's good. You see, he's got that win over Manel Kate, Tim Elliott, David Dvorak, Matt Schnell, man. He's a low output striker. He moves around the cage. It's almost like he's running. He's constantly actually circling to his left, and he circles into the people's power hands for the whole fight. He kind of like runs, and then these guys come in and chase him, and he hits him with the counter strike, man. He's got good counter striking. He's really fast, and he's been showing a little bit of power. He dropped Dvorak. He dropped Snell a couple times before finishing him. Had that great fight with Cap. Shows that he can take a punch. He's very technical. He's very smart. He's got great fight IQ. He's got good wrestling, excellent grappling. He's a BJJ black belt. He's got powerful leg kicks, and he likes to, like I said, likes to get guys to chase him, hit him with that big counter. Fast hands with decent power. The problem is he's low output. And all of his fights are so close because he basically, like I said, he's so low output and he's running around the cage and he's like one strike for one strike. And it's very close. I think in this fight, man, I was going back and forth, man. I don't think I can bet this fight at all. I'm going to take a Nicolau by a close decision. I don't think that he finishes Brandon Royval, but man, I think that this fight is going to be crazy, and that Nicolau is going to have to use some grappling in this fight. He's going to have to be able to hold Royval down like Bontoran did to get this win, man. It's going to be very crazy, and both these guys are good finishers. I guess I'd be looking a little bit at the under, because Brandon Royval hasn't had a fight go over, around over the 1.5 mark. Tim Elliott went over the 1.5 round mark, but other than that, you see, won all of his fights in the UFC, all of them but one. So his last 8 fights, only one of them went over 1.5 rounds. So, but it's a weird world fighting with Matheus Nicolau, because if you look, 4 of his last 4 of his last 5 went to decision. So it's hard to even pick an over-under in that because Nicolau turns these crazy wild strikers like Kopp into lower output guys like him because of his counter-striking. Next fight is going to be a phenomenal one. Ion Cutelaba versus Tanner Boser making his debut at 205. Ion Cutelaba is 16-9-1. Currently sitting at minus 120. He's 29 years old, 6'1" with a 75-inch reach. Tanner Boser, 29-1, 20 wins, 9 losses, 1 win, or 1 draw. He's 31 years old, 6'2" with a 75.5-inch reach. So you got Tanner Boser dropping down from heavyweight, but he's coming down. He's not even really, much bigger. He's only 1 inch taller with a half an inch of reach. So that's kind of weird. But Ion Cutelaba, man, this dude, really powerful striking. He throws hammers. He throws crazy power in his boxing. Really good wrestling. He's got really good Greco-Roman wrestling where he's picking guys up and slamming them. Super good ground and pound. His jiu-jitsu isn't the best, but I don't know if he's going to need the best jiu-jitsu in this fight because once Tanner Boser gets taken down, he does not get up. But Ion Cutelaba, man, like I said, very explosive, very powerful, has power in his hands, very, very explosive. He's dangerous in that first round. He goes nuts, usually tries to get guys out of there. And then if he doesn't, he gets finished. You see Ryan Spann, Johnny Walker, and Kennedy and Njoku, 3 losses in a row, and most of them are in the first round. He had that win over Devin Clark, though. That's what I watched that again, the unanimous decision, and he fought hard all 3 rounds, was able to get the takedowns on Devin Clark after beating him up in the first round, and Clark would accept him, and he was able to get the win, get the decision win that way because he did not have to work all that hard. Tanner Boser, man, like I said, looked good up at heavyweight, had that last loss to Rogerio Nascimento, and I think that, Nascimento is a big heavyweight, 265 pounds. That just made Tanner Boser rethink, heavyweight, go down to 205, see what he can do there. But he's very fast. Well, for a light heavyweight now, we'll see. But he was very, very fast for a heavyweight. He had really good kickboxing, really good hands. His hands are fast. He throws phenomenal combinations, 4 or 5 punch combinations with good power, ending with like double hooks, good knees in the clinch. You've seen him knock out Ovin St. Preux with that. But he fights. So a lot of his fights really close. Like with Arlovsky was a really close fight. Ilir Latifi, really close fight. Another split decision with Nascimento. That was a close fight. I thought Nascimento won that pretty clearly. But yeah, man, he's got really fast hands for a big man. Good movement, speed, and jab. He does move around a lot. He's got good knees in the clinch, throws nice boxing combos, power in both hands. But I just do not like his takedown defense. It's terrible, and I don't like his get-up game. And I think that Ion Cutelaba is going to be able to land them takedowns, and I think he's going to be able to have the jiu-jitsu to hold him down. So a weird hot take. I'm actually going to take Ion Cutelaba by decision, man. I think, if he finishes him, it's going to be a ground and pound, but give me Cutelaba by decision. If you go watch that Devin Clark fight, that's how he won. And Devin Clark, I think, would be you've seen he's not bad. Devin Clark just had that win over Dawood Jung. He's got some pretty good wins, and he might even beat Tanner Boser. So give me Cutelaba by decision. Next fight we have is in the men's 155-pound division. We got Clay Guida versus Rafa Garcia. Clay Guida is 38-22. He's currently sitting at plus 180. He's 41 years old, 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. Rafa Garcia is 15-3, currently sitting at minus 225. He's 28 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. Clay Guida, man, like I said, 41 years old. We've seen this guy fight 800 times, basically. Good boxing. It's still getting better with his age. He's got good movement. He's got good feints. He's got good speed. Crazy, wild, awkward style that throws guys off. He's got excellent offensive and defensive wrestling. Marco Madsen couldn't even take him down. He's beaten Billy Quarantillo in grappling matches like Scott's Holtzman. Now, I didn't think he won that, but man, he's been still looking decent. He's got that win over Leandro Santos where he was able to survive a beating and then come back and get the win. Mark Madsen won that split or lost that split decision. I thought he could have won that fight, man. And that to me shows something in this fight is that that's what Rafa Garcia is going to be trying to do. But he's got good boxing with tons and tons of volume. He's really good at throwing combos, and he's got some of the best cardio in the game. A ton of veteran moves and just a ton of toughness, man. He's fun to watch. I've loved Clay Guida for a long time. Rafa Garcia, man, he's been looking good lately, to be honest. He's got decent, good striking, good boxing with some power. He's been showing some pop. He's got good offensive and defensive grappling, good wrestling. He's got good BJJ when he gets guys down. He's very heavy on top, but I don't think he's going to be able to wrestle Clay Guida down at all. He's got a nice lead punch to the body, man. He'll jab to the body. He'll throw hooks to the body, and I really like that. He's got the excellent pace and pressure. It's equal to Clay's, man. He puts up he holds up in the cardio area. He's really tough. A couple of his fights, like against Machete and against Natan Levy, third rounds what got him them wins, and he almost beat Drakkar Close on short notice. But Rafa will be the stronger guy in this fight, in my opinion. He's going to land the harder shots on the feet and just being the younger dude, man. He's 13, 14 years younger. I'm going to take Rafa by decision, but I'm not even confident in that. I would just I think the over in this fight's a good way to look at it, or either guy that you like, take him by decision, because I don't think they're getting a finish here. Rafa's not going to take Clay to go down and just submit him. I don't think he gets this fight to him. Next fight, man, is going to be a leg-kicking, phenomenal fight. We have Pedro Munhoz versus Chris Gutierrez. Pedro Munhoz is 19-7, currently sitting at plus 180. He's 36 years old. He's 5'6" with a 65-inch reach. Chris Gutierrez, 19-3-2. Currently sitting at minus 220. He's 31 years old, 5'9" with a 67-inch reach. So you see he's 3 inches taller with 2 inches of reach. And man, yeah, this is a leg kicker's delight. These two dudes, Pedro Munhoz was one of the best leg kickers in the division for a while. Now Chris Gutierrez is taking that spot over. Pedro Munhoz, man, he hasn't been looking good. He's 36 years old right now. He's had a real tough run. He's 1-4 in his last 5. His only win coming over Jimmy Rivera, but he's fighting the best in the world, man. Aljamain Sterling. Frankie Edgar loss was not a good look, but that was 3 years ago. Jose Aldo, Dominic Cruz, where he dropped Dominic Cruz, hurt him real bad in that fight. But against Aldo, he was just smaller, and they basically do the same thing. But I love Pedro Munhoz's leg kicks. He's got powerful leg kicks. He's got good boxing. He's got good offensive and defensive grappling. He'll definitely have the better wrestling and jiu-jitsu in this fight. Decent hands. He's got good judo when he uses it. Good black belt. He's high-level black belt, but he really does not use it all that much. He's super tough and durable, man. If you go look, here's a weird little stat. Out of his 26 fights, he's got 4 split decision wins and losses, right? Split decision loss to John Dobson. Split decision to Jimmy Rivera. He's just got a lot of split decision wins and losses. And when we get over to Chris Gutierrez, who has 24 fights, he has 5 split decision wins, man. So these guys got 9 split decisions between the two of them in their fights. So that might tell you something about this fight. Chris Gutierrez, man, 19-3-2. Been looking good. Got that big win over Frankie Edgar with that knee, kind of like Corey Sandhagen did. Looked good against Denis back to Raw. I was at that fight. I thought he was getting beat until he hit him with that spinning back fist and elbow, but it's what he did. He got the win. But you see here, man, split decision with Felipe Corrales. That is not a good look, and that was only a year and a half ago. He had a draw with Cody Durden less than 2 years ago. Unanimous decision win over Andre Ewell. That was close. But yeah, man, Vince Morales, that was a phenomenal fight where he got the leg kicks. But like that, split decision with Geraldo de Freitas. He's going to split decision with guys that are not on the level of Pedro Munhoz, man. Like I said, I thought he was getting beat by Denis Bakhtaral before that, and the Frankie Edgar win was nice. But he's got phenomenal leg kicks, excellent movement and feints, excellent spinning back fist. That Denis Bakhtaral one was crazy. Good counter flying knee, boxing, but not much power in his hands. This is going to be a close fight. I'm actually going to take Chris Gutierrez, the younger guy, by split decision. I'm going to look at them props when they come out for just this fight going to split decision in general. But yeah, man, give me Chris Gutierrez just being the bigger, younger, fresher guy, and being able to land some decent boxing and even land the more powerful leg kicks like Jose Aldo was able to do. But that fight's going to be really close, man. I would stay away from betting that fight, to be honest, because I think that this is another competition thing where Pedro Munhoz is the big underdog because he's been getting beat by these phenomenal fighters like a Gaston and Sakai and them, and they come fight a dude like Gutierrez. Never fought anybody on his level, but he's on a good winning streak and he looks good because he's been beating these low-level guys. Now he's going to come up against a dude that ain't going nowhere, and Pedro Munhoz, he's not getting knocked out and he's not getting leg kicked out. So it's just going to be a war, dude, and I expect it to be very close. And I mean, that line should be like maybe Gutierrez like minus 130. That's how I feel about that fight. Next fight, though, is going to be another good one, dude. Dustin Jacoby versus Azamat Mirzakhonov. I had it down earlier. Dustin Jacoby, 18-6-1, currently sitting at minus 200, 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. Azamat is 12-0, currently sitting at plus 170. He's 34 years old, 5'10" with a 71-inch reach. So you see, Dustin Jacoby is 5 inches taller with 7 inches of reach, which is a whole bunch. Dustin Jacoby, the Hanyak kid, man, excellent long kickboxing with some pop, man. He's got really nice long jab, and then he turns that jab into a crazy 1-2. That's what he hit Dawoon Jung with, put him out. He throws a ton of value, man. He's got powerful leg kicks. That's what he was tearing up Khalil Roundtree with. Olin Jacek, he beat John Allen with them. He hit Darren Stewart with that 1-2-2. Just a super tough dude. Throws tons of feints. He's super tough, super durable, super big, super long, man, and just a lot of volume and a lot of toughness. He's going to meet guys in the middle of the cage, and he's going to throw down with them. But he's hittable. He should be on a 9-fight win streak. He's 8-1 in his last 9 fights, but he should be on a 9-fight win streak because he beat Khalil Roundtree. I don't care what that thing says. But so much height and reach here is going to be big for him. But he's just very, very hittable. Like if you see when he fought Olin Jacek, he was getting cracked. He got cracked a lot versus Khalil Roundtree, and that's what I think made that the split decision, but it shouldn't even have been. But he got cracked and dropped versus Ian Cutelaba, came back and got the draw there, but almost got finished. But Azamat, man, rewatching his stuff, I'm impressed with him. His striking's good. He's got powerful kickboxing. He's super fast. I think he's going to have a speed advantage here. He's got KO power in both hands. He's obviously got KO power in his flying knees, as you've seen against Tafan. He beat the shit out of Devin Clark, who's pretty good and would put up a good fight to Dustin Jacoby, in my opinion. But he beat him up all 3 rounds, hurt him all 3 rounds before he got the win. He used to fight up the Marcus Shuffle. You just seen him fight the other day. Muhammad Fakhreddin, too. He used to fight up at heavyweight, and beating up dudes at heavyweight. He's undefeated, 12-0, crazy Russian, man. He's got his left hand is fast, straight, right down the pipe. I think he's going to be able to use that a lot here. He's got a strong clinch against the cage. He's got good offensive and defensive wrestling. I don't know if he'll be able to get it going here because Jacoby's got pretty good takedown defense. But he's going to have the speed advantage and the grappling advantage. And I think that as far as just the one-shot, like, knockout advantage, look at him. I mean, he's been knocking people dead. His last 4 guys got knocked out in the first round, or 2 in the first, 2 in the third. So he's carrying that power all the way through the fight. I'm going to take Azamat here. I'm going to take him as the big dog at plus 155. I think that he can win this fight, man. I think that, like, if you watch Dustin Jacoby against Mikhail Olenjacek, who is an undersized 205er, it shows that he can fight very close with these very fast kickboxing guys that can come out and throw a ton of speed and a ton of damage. And I'm going to take Azamat here, man. I'm going to take the 12-0 Russian to get the job done. I think it's a decision, though. Dustin Jacoby's as durable as they come. Now to the co-main event, we have Edson Barbosa versus Billy Quarantillo. Edson Barbosa is 22-11, currently sitting at plus 135. He's 37 years old, 5'11" with a 75-inch reach. Billy Quarantillo is 17-4. 34 years old, 5'10" with a 70-inch reach. Edson Barbosa, man, this dude is phenomenal. He's got phenomenal explosive kickboxing, powerful leg kicks, crazy powerful leg kicks. He's beaten up Burgos with them leg kicks. He's beat up people with leg kicks his whole career. Beat up Makwan Americani with that. He's got phenomenal spinning kicks, spinning back fists. I think he got. Did he get Benil Dariush, right? Or was that, no, that was Terry Adam that he got with that. But I thought he got Benil Dariush too. When he didn't. Okay. But yeah, man, he's got some really good, phenomenal KOs throughout his whole career in the UFC. Yeah, he did right there. The flying knee to Benil Dariush. That was in 2017. So he's got some crazy wins at 155. He's got some excellent power, good boxing with some pop. You seen when he was able to take Burgos out in the 3rd round with that crazy, weird right hook that he went down like 10 seconds later. Good takedown defense against non-Division I wrestlers. And he's very tough with good cardio, and he's still got it at 145, man. He's still very tough at 145. Billy Quarantillo, man, he's got good boxing. He's got good kicks. He's got excellent cardio. He's constantly in your face with good pace, good pressure. He's got great boxing, good combos, tons of pressure, decent wrestling, good grappling and ground and pound. When he's on top, man, he's definitely a problem. And he uses cardio and pace as a weapon. It's just in this fight, I think that it's going to look a lot like his fight that Billy Quarantillo had with Shane Burgos, where Shane Burgos was able to box him up and tear his leg up with leg kicks. That's what ultimately won the fight for him. He almost finished him with leg kicks. He had to kept switching around and stuff, switching his legs around. He was getting beat up by Alexander Hernandez until Hernandez gassed like he always does. And that's when Quarantillo was able to take over. But in this fight, man, I don't think that his wrestling is going to work at all. I think that he's going to be slow in the striking. Like the technical striking between these two guys is so crazy different. If you go watch Bill Algeo fighting Alexander, I mean, if you go watch Quarantillo fighting Alexander Hernandez, dude, that was like Hernandez was way more fast, way crisper, was beating him up. Like I said, he gasses. Edson Barboza's not gonna. He looks great against Shane Burgos in the third round. He was taking a lot of damage in that fight. I'm taking Edson Barboza as the dog by decision. I think that he keeps this fight standing. I think he's going to be way more technical and way more crisper. I know he's 37 years old, but Quarantillo is 34 years old. And Barbosa's been better than him his whole career. So give me Edson Barboza in that fight. And I actually changed my mind because going into before tape, I picked Quarantillo to win that fight. And I was pretty confident. Then I went and watched tape. And it's like, man, as long as Barboza doesn't just, gas out and melt, he's going to get that win. Main event time. We got Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen. Max Holloway is 23-7. Currently sitting at minus 190. He's 31 years old, 5'11" with a 69-inch reach. Arnold Allen is 19-1 on more than 5 fights, but he won his last 5. He's on probably about 9-10 fight win streak. 29 years old, 5'8" with a 70-inch reach. So you see Max is 3 inches taller, but Allen has the 1-inch reach advantage. Max Holloway, what can you say, man? Probably second best featherweight to ever do it. This dude is big and tall for the division. He's got excellent boxing. He's got phenomenal combos. He works the head, the body. He's got great angles, great feints. His leg kicks are getting better. He's really good offensive and defensive wrestling. He can offensively wrestle like you've seen against Yair Rodriguez and stuff when he needs to. He doesn't usually need to, but when he needs to, he can. Some of the best takedown defense in the game, crazy striking volume and pace. And the thing is like this dude's one of the best ever because like against Calvin Kattar when he threw like 500 significant strikes, but he is one of the most durable people I've ever seen in my life. He's been in wars with so many people, with Ortega, Dustin Poirier, Jose Aldo, all these wars, man. And he doesn't even really get hurt. He gets beat up. Volkanovski beat the brakes off him for 5 rounds last fight. And he's able to survive that and finish. Yair Rodriguez kicked him everywhere, dude. I just rewatched that fight today, and Yair Rodriguez, dude, hit him with everything but the kitchen sink, hit him with the hardest leg kicks in the world. And Max just keeps coming forward and finds a way to win. He's going to be fighting Arnold Allen, though, man, who's been impressing the crap out of me in his last couple fights. Against Calvin Kattar, he was able to land some really big shots on Kattar. Was able to hurt him, not hurt him, but stun him and daze him a couple times in the first round and take off on him a couple times like he does because he's very explosive. He's very fast. And when he feels like he's got a guy hurt, he goes in for the kill. Kattar hurt his knee in that, but he was losing that fight in the first round before that happened with the jump knee. Dan Hooker, man, he really took off on Hooker. I don't think Hooker should have ever dropped down to 145, but he did, and he took a beating for it. And Arnold Allen just showed he's so fast, man. His left hand is really fast. He's got really good movement. He throws really nice leg kicks, but his left hand is a piston. He also has a phenomenally fast left head kick. That's what he caught Sadiq Youssef with, dropped him, caught Dan Hooker with it a couple times. He actually caught Kattar with it once. Excellent head kick. It's just super hard to call this fight because he's so fast, explosive, and he's gonna have a speed advantage on Kattar, on Max, just like Volkanovski did last fight. And I know he's gonna win that first round, maybe that second round, but we just have not seen Arnold Allen in the 5th round, and we know Max Holloway is going to be there. I don't that Arnold Allen is not finishing Max Holloway, and I think that just an accumulation of shots. And once Max Holloway, like he did with Calvin Kattar, once he and Yair, once he starts figuring out your rhythm, what you're doing, he starts taking over, man. I think that he could put that style of a beating on Arnold Allen from the 3rd round to the end of the 5th. So Give me Max Holloway here by decision. But if Arnold Allen wins, man, that'll be some really new blood in the division, and it'll be wild. But give me Max Holloway by decision. And I think that these are going to be some really good fights. I wish I was going to watch these live, to be honest. I appreciate everybody, man, checking this out. Like I said, man, just in the description, join up with the Patreon or join up with the Discord. It's free, man. Join up with the Patreon if you want to beat line movement, get early bets, get all kinds of different stuff, and just support the channel, man. The picks were still free on Twitter and Instagram throughout the week of the fights. But if you want bets weeks early, hop on there. Appreciate everybody checking this out. I will see you guys on Thursday for the live stream, and see you guys later.